Shalom, 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 Israel, shalom. Morning, 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 morning. Boy, it's early in the morning. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, Israel. Man, I'm just getting off, just getting off. How everybody morning going? And man, this fast is kicking, ain't it? How everybody doing on their fast? We ain't got long. We ain't got long. It'll be over with tonight. It'll be over with tonight. Y'all can I know y'all can spare these last 11, 12 hours. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. First of all, we want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, hallelujah. Kwam Yasharala. Rise, Israel, rise, y'all. Man, it's been a hellified night at work for me. But I said I was gonna get in here because it told me got me up. It told me got me ticking. You know, I want to feel the whole. I want to feel the whole afflict. I want to feel it, the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to sleep. Get a little rest, but I ain't trying to sleep. I feel like if I'm sleeping, I ain't getting the whole thing. I ain't afflicting my soul. Now, I got to feel this pain. I got to feel this suffering. I got to feel what my big brother went through. I got to feel that suffering. Y'all see that shirt? I am Israel. Seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ah, yeah. All praise. How y'all doing this morning, Israel? Man, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. Energized and everything. I'm feeling real good. Today, y'all, we gonna do some reading of the Bible. Yeah, we gonna read Genesis chapter 8. We getting along, ain't it? We getting along. We're gonna give out some shout outs this morning. We're gonna give out some shout out this morning. Man, I've been watching Battle Acts of the Most High, the Day of Atonement marathon all night. They kicked it. It's at a marathon. They kicked it all night for the atonement. I had something to listen to while I was at work, because I had to have that word while I'm afflicting this soul. You know what I'm saying? I had to have that word. So like it. But I had to have that word while I was afflicting my soul out there at work, you know. Had to work. Can't lose my roof over my head, you know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all yesterday, we still in oppression. We still in slavery, captivity, however you want to put it. But we finna give out some shout out. We're gonna give a shout out to Battle Act for keeping me going all night. They still going on. I'm still watching them. I got them on mute right now. You know, they've been swapping out all night. You know what I'm saying? They have not cut none tonight. They finna run a 24-hour marathon. It started last night, sundown, for the Day of Atonement start. And they still going. They switching out. Somebody new just came in to relieve your boy. He been there. The one just left. He been there all night. He was sitting on the cone. He was barely talking. You had Jeroboam. You had like 3-4 different people come up there and talk through the night. And he ain't got his name up there. I don't know them all. I basically just know the captains. I don't know the soldiers' name. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Battle Axe of the Most High. I want to give a shout out to the 12 tribes of Israel regardless. To the whole 12 tribes that scattered abroad. Happy Atonement. Kwame Yasharala. All praises to the 12 tribes that scattered abroad. I want to give a shout out to all my kids, you know, my oldest Princess Shay, my second oldest Princess Journey, and my third prince, the one and only. I got one son, one and only Junior. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to them. I want to give a shout out to my 2 daughters in Michigan, my last 2. My 5 and 4-year-old. I want to give a shout out to them. Daddy love y'all. I'm doing that because they be watching me. So, hey Dakota. Hey Dee Dee. Daddy love y'all. You know, with our daddy gonna read the Bible today. We're gonna get in Genesis 8. I want to give a shout out to my aunt Jonah. I want to give a shout out to my aunt Noah. A shout out to my aunt Moshe. A shout out to my Yahweh, Mark, Ross, Ray, Rodney, Trail, who I'm missing? Sensei. Can't think of nobody else. But most of all, I want to give a shout out to the creator of heaven and earth, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. Oh, praise him, man. Man, today, man, we're going to go and get into this, man, in Genesis chapter 8. Everybody get their King James Version out with the Apocrypha. Like I said, if you don't have the King James Version, you can bring whatever Bible you have, as long as it's the Holy Bible. I prefer the King James, but whatever y'all can understand, whatever y'all could understand. I like the King James. But yeah, we're going to pick up with Genesis chapter 8. Yes, we are. With Genesis chapter 8. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to read and discuss as we go. Because I got to go to court this morning. So I'm going to get this on out the way. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 1. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the water swagged. Now God had remembered Noah. After them 40 days and 40 nights it rained, God remembered Noah in what he sit on the ark with Noah, the cattle and all. Noah and his son, God remembered. Yeah. So it said, remember Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. So God remember all that were with him in the ark. Okay, now I got that. Oh, I was just looking at the definition of the word. When I don't know the definition of the word, when I don't know what it means, I'm gonna look that definition up and read about it. But I apologize for that. And it say, and God made a wind. So God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters sway. That's the word I was looking up. So it say in the King James Version, the word sway refers to the act of settling down. So when he caused a wind to blow over the whole earth, to pass over the earth, the water settled. It calmed down. It's calmed down. It went splashing and rushing everywhere no more like it was at first when it was raining and pouring up out when the earth opened up and it poured up out the earth. And it said settling down, subsiding, or holding back. So when it's swag, it hold back, it settled down. So it stopped rushing. It stopped pouring. It can describe the lessening of a flood, as in Genesis 8:1, what we read, where the waters are swayed, or the mitigation of intense emotion like grief, as seen in Job 16:5, when Job wished his words could assuage his friend grief, calm him down, hold him back, subside. So now we know the meaning of the swag. Verse 2. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped. So he closed up the fountains of the deep. Remember, he opened up the fountains of the deep. It opened up so the water can pour out when the heaven window opened and the water came from up top, water came from the bottom. Remember now, when he separate water from water, he separate water from water. So it's gonna be water at the bottom and water at the top. So that's what he mean when he was saying that the windows open, the windows of heaven were stopped up. He closed it back up. The firmament, he closed it back up. That's why I told y'all, pay attention to what y'all be reading. And then think back but what you read. Because all this gonna come together. He told you in the Holy Bible, he gave us the beginning of time and he gave us the end of this world. The beginning of this world and the end of this world. So he opened up the heavens of wonder, the firmament. We living in a one of them snow glass. What's the word I'm looking for? A dome. We living in a dome, like a snow glass which you shake up. That's what we in. So that's why the world is not round. That's why it's flat. The world, we wouldn't be able to be in now one of them. It wouldn't be able to be a dome over it if the world was round. How can it move, rotate? How can the sun go around it? So the earth had to be flat. He said the fountains, verse 2 again, the fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. So he stopped up one of them, and the rain from heaven was restrained. Verse 3, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. So the water returned from off the earth continually. It kept vibrating, moving in a certain spot, vibrating. And he said, and after the end of the 150 days, the water were abated. Now, after 150 days, the water were abated. Oh, y'all know I'm finna go get the definition. In the Bible, abated from the verb to abate means lessen, decrease, diminish, or reduce intensely or amount. It describes a lesson of force or emotion, such as abating of the flood's water. So that means it decreased, evaporating. Like vibrating, disappear. You know, the water become, how it vibrated, become mist. So the water started abating off the earth continually after 150 days. Verse 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month, and the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Iraq. Now, it said the 7th month. When did the okay. It said the 7th month when the ark rested in the 7th month. That's October. This month here, the month of the feasts. I think we had like 3 feasts in the 7th month. Now 4. We got we got the feast of the new moon, and that with the blowing of the trumpet. Then you had the atonement where we going in now, and then we gonna have the tabernacle coming up on the 5th of this month of October, which will be the day the 10th. 11th, Thursday, the 12th, Friday, 13th, Saturday, which will be the 15th day of this month. Like today, it's the 10th. The 10th day where we supposed to atone, and that's what we doing. So the ark rested in the 7th month. When did it move? It moved 600 years. That's in Genesis chapter 7, verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, it moved. It rained in the 2nd month on the 17th day. So you had the 2nd month when it rained. You had the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. It rained 40 days, 40 nights. That's like a month and what? About a week or two. Something like that. But it rained 40 days and 40 nights. And then they settled, the ark settled. It rested in the 7th month on the 17th day, the same day that the rain came in the 2nd month on the 17th day when the windows of heaven opened up and in the breaking of the deep, the fountains of the deep. On the 17th day of the month of the 7th month, upon the mountain of Ararat. So Ararat is where the ark landed. It rested on the mountain of Ararat. It was so high, so much water. So when the water started subduing to the ark, made it to a level. I made it to the area where the Ararat, the mountain of Ararat was. And as the water subdued, started decreasing, the ark sat on the mountain. It couldn't float no more. Remember, he had to bring the water to make it move. So now it decreasing, it just settled on the ark. On the Ararat. And as of today, it's still there. It's still there. Thousands of years later. It probably grow all into the, the Messiah ain't finna give up all information. He ain't gonna really let you locate all this. People probably been out there trying to search and find these things. But like I said, it probably rolled into the mountain. Now it looked like the mountain. You probably can look at it real good and like, man, that's the ark. And you know something? I was watching something. I can't remember what it was, but it was a while back when I first came into truth. When I was staying in Michigan. They showed something, and they were saying, I forgot what they called it. But when I saw it on the television, it's like my whole body got chilled, ran straight up my body. I looked at it, I said, man, that looked like a ship. It looked like Noah's Ark. And they said it was up top on the mountain. They ain't called the mountain out what mountain it was. They ain't say that. But, and it had the entrance of it. Man, it looked like Noah's Ark. It really did brought chills on me. But that's where the ark landed on the 17th day of the 7th month. Verse 5, and the water decreased continually until the 10th month. So the water kept decreasing until the 10th month. That's like 3 months later. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. That, like I told you, it was so much water. Now, after 3 months, the 10th month, on the first day of that month, on the first day of the 10th month, as the water decreased, that's when they started seeing the top of the mountains seen. Not one, not two, but more. They started seeing the top of the mountain. Now the water really decreasing. Now you started getting on land and probably to start getting to land soon. Because the mountain's real tall, so that's had to be high. You got a lot of high mountains. So for it to cover up all the mountains, the water to cover up all the mountains, for them to be seen on the tent, it took 3 months for water to evaporate just to see the top. And it ain't even all the way down that you can see the whole mountain. You just see the top. Verse 6. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. Remember the window he had at the top, what God told him to make at the top? So he opened the window up. Let's go back to it. That's fine. Where we read that at? Genesis, they're going to be in Genesis 5. Verse 5. Bear with me, family. I just want to bring you back to this so y'all can, that's a precept. Verse 16, he said, a window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. So he told him, he's like, Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And there were 5 in 16. See, as I be trying to teach y'all, I be studying too myself. But you ain't gonna see everything when you read the first time or the second time. This 8 and 6. Eight and 6 said, and it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. Verse 7, and he sent forth a raven, a bird. He sent forth a raven bird. That's an unclean foul bird too. That's an unclean, a raven. So he sent that out the window, which went forth to and fro. It went forth to and fro. So it went there, and there, until the water was dried up from off the earth. It did this until the water was dried up off the earth. Verse 8. Also he sent forth a dove from him. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the water were abated from off the face of the ground. So he sent the dove out to see what the water abated off the face of the ground. See, did all of the water dried up, your ponds left where your ponds at, your lakes where your lakes at, your rivers where your rivers at, your ocean where your ocean at, and your land where your land at, the dry land. So that's where he sent the dove out for, to see did all the water abated off the land, off the earth, from off the face of the ground. Verse 9, but the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot. The dove flew. Like I said, when he destroyed the earth with water, and he destroyed all living animals and all, even the fowls of the air, that's how high that water was, that they couldn't call. If it couldn't been that high, they could have landed on top of the mountain and rest. But it wasn't like that. Everything flooded out in the earth. Everything was up under water. Everything. everything. So the fowls of the air couldn't find nowhere to rest their sole of their feet. They got tired of flying, so what you think they did? Just drop. Stop flapping wings and just drop. You not gonna fly 24 hours a day, 48 hours, no matter what. You not gonna. But it never found a place. But the dove found no resting for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark. Now the dove came back to the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. The water was on the face of the whole earth. Like I said, then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. So he put her hand out there, and she landed on it. That's the only thing she had to land on beside the ark. She could have landed on the ark, sat on the outside. She probably would. Never know. We don't know. She probably sitting out there waiting on Noah to put his arm out there, because she ain't just kept flapping because she had to rest. So he stuck his arm out there and she landed on her hand and he brought her back in. Verse 10. And he stayed yet other 7 days. He stayed other 7 days. He stayed another 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. So after these 7 days they stayed, he waited 7 more days and he sent her back out there. Let's see what she did this time. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. Now the bird very smart. This time when the bird got sent out, it came back in the evening. It came back in the evening, and it was a olive leaf in her mouth. So she let you know that the water drying up. So Noah knew that the water was abating from off the earth. See, excuse me. So Noah knew that the water was abating up off the earth. It was starting to dry up. You start to see leaves and flowers probably. You start to seeing things. Life started to grow, replenish. And we did this the 10th month. This the 10th month. Because it started in the 7th month. No, it started in the 2nd month. It stopped raining and poured water in the 7th month. And the 3rd and in the 10th month, it started abating. You started to getting to see the ground. Verse 13. And it came to pass in the 601st year. So now a year that went by. In the first month, it's the first month. April. I say April. Called winter end in February. Where it really end in March. Yeah, like March the 21st, something like that. So that's when a new year starts, which it'll be April, according to the Bible. It'll be April. So the first day of the month, the water will dry up from all the earth. Now in the first day of the month, in that first year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the water will dry up from off the earth. Now the water will dry up April the 1st. The first and Noah 601. Noah was 601 years old. Cause and it came to pass in the 601st year. Noah was 600 when the flood happened. It been a year now. We went from the 2nd month, all the way to the 10th month. Now we added the other 2 and went back to the 1st month of the year for made it 1 year. Finish 13. And Noah removed the cover. Excuse me. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. So he took the cover of the ark and he removed it. And he looked and he seen that, wow, the water has abated from the earth. The ground was dry. Verse 15, and God spake unto Noah, saying, go forth of the ark, go out of the ark, thou and thy wife, take your wife with you, and thy sons, take your sons, and thy sons' wives, and get your sons' wives. And y'all go out of the ark with thee. Verse 17, bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh. So now you got to, he brought all the living thing that was in the ark out. Let them be loose on the dry ground. Both the fowl, let the fowls of the air got out, and of the cattle, let the cattle out, and of every creepy thing that creep upon the earth, and let every creepy thing out that creep upon the earth, that they may breathe abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. Y'all get that? I don't have to break that down to it. Verse 18. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kind, went forth out of the ark. Now Noah had all these different types of animals in this ark. You knew God had, like God said, I choose your delusion. He's a powerful, he's a powerful God. He's ain't no God like him. Ain't no God like him. What God? The only Alpha and Omega, the Most High. The only. Because he had all these animals under control. Imagine what type of animals did Noah bring onto that ark. Vicious animals. Wicked animals. Just imagine all these animals that he brought to this ark. And the Lord had control of all of this. Verse 20. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord. So Noah built an altar and took of every clean beast, and he took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and every clean fowl that flies in the air. Now he taking all these clean beasts and these clean fowl, and offer burnt offering on the altar. So the altar he built, he offered burnt offering on the altar to the Lord. Verse 21, and the Lord smelled a sweet Savior. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sakes. For the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. So God made a promise to Noah that he will not curse the ground again anymore for man's sake. He killed the ground because he flooded out the earth because sin abounded and it was wickedness. No one knew righteous but Noah. Remember, Noah was the only one he found righteous in his eyes. Not even Noah's sons. He said Noah was righteous in his eyes. He ain't say Noah and his 3 sons. He ain't say Noah and his wife. He just said Noah. That's what he said. And he said he'll never curse the ground for man's sake. Flood the ground out like that. Because he had to kill everything cause of man sinning in this world, as what we do up today. As the days of Noah, so will be the days of the coming of the Messiah. They ain't knew never sin, wickedness back then in Noah's generation. And in our generation now, it's the same thing. Y'all can't see how it repeat itself? Because y'all partying, drinking, giving in marriage. Just the same thing they were doing in Noah's generation. Partying, drinking, giving in marriage. And nobody looking for the signs. That's why everybody was shocked when it rained. They weren't even expecting the rain. They laughed at Noah. Y'all gonna be shocked like a taser when that sky cracked. And if you ain't in your right apparel, you doomed. If you ain't in your fringes, if you ain't claiming to be Israel, if you ain't walking in the laws and the statutes and the commandments of the Most High, where he told Israel, I ain't talking about nobody else. I ain't talking about the 17 other nations. I'm just talking about God's chosen people, the Israelites. If y'all in strange apparel, you done. He never knew you. Get deep from him. Because it's going to be too late. You got to get this now. You have to turn to the Most High now. We're running out of time. We're running out of time. And I have love in my heart for my brothers down. That's why I come on here and do this thing, try to break things down to give y'all a better understanding, to lead y'all on y'all way. See, I had to go through a lot of camps, watch a lot of camps to get to where I'm at. Because, you know, they teach different things. Everybody ain't on one accord. We're not going to be on that one accord until the Messiah come back. But I got a little bit from there, a little bit from there, a little bit from there. And I put it all together. Then I asked the Most High, God, break this down for me. Give me the wisdom not to understand what I just put together. And I just keep reading over and over again. And then it'll start coming to me. Then it'll make me flip to precept like, wait a minute, didn't I just read? That's what it is. He said meditate in his word, man. Meditate in the scripture. Day and night. I fall asleep with the Bible beside me or on me. I wake up, the Bible right there. Like I said 4 years ago, cause this is all I got, man. This the only thing that brought me, this the only thing that made me become a man. And I'm going to get that. I'm going to go get that. Let's finish this off first. Verse 22, the last verse. And it say, while the earth remained seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. And that was the end of that. Genesis chapter 8, verse 22. But like I was saying, that was the only thing that brought me forward to make me feel like a man. And when I read this scripture, I thought to myself and like, man, I had the whole scenario of being a man wrong. Because I was following the what? World. The world tell you a man, to be a man, to show yourself by being a man, provide for your family, pay all the bills. This the stuff they stunned in you, and a woman don't want to deal with you unless you doing that. And then if you doing that, they think you weak. So they go cheat. They talk to you any type of way. They disrespectful, especially to you. You lesser than a man when you doing the worldly things. When you do the worldly man, you be lesser than a man to a woman. And we thought, and we as a man, like me as a man, I thought that was that's how you describe a man. That would being a man be, that make you manly, or that's how a man supposed to roll. No. No. This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 2. I'm going to start off. This Solomon and David. David talking to Solomon, his son. And he going to tell him how to show himself by being a man. And this what I took heed of. And this what changed me for these 4 years. I done found the truth. And I ain't going nowhere. This what I know. This what I love. And this what I got. This right here got me in the predicament I'm in now. This right here saved me. This right here made me be a man. Because what my daddy was showing me, what my uncle then was showing me, that ain't being a man. Any man can go out there and do that. But can any man do this? The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. This David talking to his son. Matter of fact, I'm going to start verse 1 so you can get the context of it. 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, that he should be unalive. Because I forgot they don't want you saying that on there. I apologize. Not that he should unalive. And he charged Solomon, his son, saying, he charged his son. Charged. He told his son, sit down right here, son, and let me talk to you. You know I'm fit to be unalive. I'm fit to be unalive. And he said, I go the way of all the earth. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show and shew thyself a man. He said, be thou strong therefore, and shew thyself a man. Show yourself as a man. Let's finish. Verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgment and his testimony, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. Now that made a whole lot of sense. Not chasing a woman, talking about providing for all that gonna happen. God said, seek thy kingdom first, and all these things shall be added unto you. That wife, that providing that home, that keeping the roof over their head, that providing the food to feed them children. All that shall I give to you. Seek my kingdom first. So that's what David telling Solomon. Walk in the will of God. Walk in the will of God. In his way, to keep his statute, do his statute. Keep them. Teach them to your children. Teach them to your grands. That's what we supposed to be doing now. We supposed to be teaching our kids these, because them ain't our kids. Temporarily. Them his children. Just like you his child. Your children that you spit out, the children you call your children, them his children. We supposed to be teaching them these things. And we ain't doing that. Don't you know you gonna get punished for that? Because it was a commandment. It was a commandment to teach thy children the law, the statutes. You're going to get punished for that. And everybody that blocking it, oh, they ain't got to do this. Because it ain't nothing but your women's. It ain't nothing but your women's. You look around, you see these young brothers coming closer to God. I seen a young brother, I had to say, I can't remember what, Sons of Thunder. The boy looked like he about 11, 12 years old. The boy came down there with no mother. The boy came down there with no father. You know what Sons of Thunder teach at in Atlanta? That boy came down there with his Bible and his fringes on. Young man. You tell me we ain't waking up? You tell me God ain't waking us up? We at the end. That young man, the Spirit moved that young man to go down there to hear that word. And he came in his fringes. Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. And he had his King James Version Bible with him. Sons of Thunder, y'all pick that young man up and teach that young man something. That's one of the 144. A soldier. See, it's a lot of us mans, young mans at that, coming around to this truth. Because God said he was going to open up some of his people's eyes. God said he was going to put his Spirit out. God even said that he going to put delusion on certain people. That's why that young man ain't got no delusion on him. You know what God showed him? God showed him the truth. That's why that young man went down there to hear the word, the truth. He ain't try to go to no church. That young man did exactly what the Father told him to do. Rest that Sabbath. And he went down there and rest and listened to the word. Congregate with Sons of Thunder. I like that. I like that. Man, Sons of Thunder, man, you know, I learned a lot from y'all. So as Battle Axe. So as a more count. But Sons of Thunder and Battle Axe, they're my major two. and Watch Me for Israel. Them my major three. I learned a lot from them. Some things I don't agree with them on, and some things I do. I read for myself. But that's something, man, when I saw that young man down there like that, man, that sparkled my spirit. And I just knew, I like, man, the Most High Spirit is over the earth, man. It's I, him. We, him. We in the days Moses them longed for. We in these days, they talked about it in the New Testament. We in these days, they talked about in the Old Testament. We live in these days now. The last. The last. So, man, we got to get it together, Israel. Kwam Yasharallah. Rise up, Israel. My people. He putting it out there. And he also got the delusion out there. Don't get caught up in this world. Because that's not what he dealing with. He do not deal with the world. Don't get caught up in this world, man. I pray my people, listen. If you have an ear, listen. Let him hear. Don't get caught up in this world. Cause this for the go, man. This for the go. Practically we in Seal 5 at the end of Seal 5. And y'all go to Revelation and read about Seal 6 when it crack open. Read it. That's exactly where we at. We right there at that door. That Seal 6 for the crack. And when it do, Israel, man, I like to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, for allowing me to read these words to y'all, to get this spirit out there to y'all. You know, I'm going to keep trying to do my part. And I feel like this is my part right here. So like, share, subscribe, comment. It can be all our part. We can all talk. I can talk with you. We can go live together and talk and discuss these things. I know y'all got questions. I had a lot of questions. Still do got a lot of questions. For real. We got to get this right. We got to get this right. This gospel of truth we preach. Man, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Thank y'all, Israel, for allowing me to read this Bible to y'all. Like I said, I am Israel, a true seeker of Yahweh, a seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Kwam Yasharallah. All praises. Thank y'all. Subscribe to the channel, man. Like, share, comment. Let me get some votes in. Let me get this thing popping, man. Come on. We can do this. Or we'll get back with y'all. Kwam Yasharallah. May God bless you.